In the Peace and Justice Action League of Spokane, we believe that everyday people have the power to accomplish extraordinary things together. The Peace and Justice Action League of Spokane is an independent, grassroots, local, bold organization of everyday people building a just and nonviolent world. I have been nurtured and challenged by the Peace and Justice Action League community since I was a Deer Park High School student, these many years ago, looking for ideas on peace, learning about how I could be part of working for justice, and finding community. Our strategy to accomplish the extraordinary mission to build a just and nonviolent world is community organizing and grassroots leadership development for peace, economic justice, racial justice, and human rights, using an intersectional racial equity analysis and commitment in every aspect of our work together. Our theme for this luncheon and for our work this year is everyday people building beyond the moment. We are in a very urgent historical moment, and I know I don't need to tell any of you that. We are in the midst of a horrible, dangerous attack of symptoms of the toxic disease of enmeshed systemic racism, patriarchy, militarism, and class exploitation. And in this moment, we need all hands on deck. We need everyone on their feet, we need everybody in motion, and we need organizing and movement building to expose and overcome not just the symptoms, but the toxic disease itself. We have to organize in the moment to build beyond the moment. We have to build toward our vision of racial equity and justice, peaceful and strong communities where all families have what they need to thrive, including bodily autonomy and freedom, and our planet is treasured and protected. A just and nonviolent world. How do we get there? We come together. We give our time, our talents, and our treasure to our collective and strategic efforts. A great story of how we are already doing this together is our local organizing for criminal justice reform. In 2011, Pajales was part of the No New Jail Coalition. In spite of Sheriff Knezovich and the county commissioners, we won that fight, and then we really got going. We built the Smart Justice Spokane Coalition with I Did the Time, Greater Spokane Progress, NAACP, Center for Justice, and many other organizations. Together, we are organizing to end mass incarceration and racial disparities in our city and county regional criminal justice system. We mobilize together for effective, restorative solutions that are driven by the experiences and needs of those impacted by the criminal justice system, because that's the only path to a strong, healthy, and just community. And in November last year, 6 years after the jail fight, we won fair chance hiring in Spokane to reduce barriers to jobs for people with conviction records. It was a powerful night. Everyday people standing together, daring to share their own stories and to support each other. And with that win at the Spokane City Council, we set the stage for a state-level fair chance hiring law that passed this spring. And just this Monday night, the Spokane City Council unanimously passed a resolution supporting a racial equity toolkit as a step to end racial disparities in the jail and the entire system. We're changing policy, we're changing hearts and minds, and we're building power. And are we done? No, we're not. Pajales has been building since the moment the doors opened in 1975. And I want to ask you to join me in recognizing two very important people who were part of the leadership of Pajales for more than half of our existence, who are really hoping this is not what I'm about to say, but I am, who welcomed me into this movement as a high school student, and who continued to support me and so many others in growing as activists. They are extraordinary, ordinary people, everyday people who do amazing things and move other people to be part of those amazing pieces of work. The former co-directors of Pajales, Nancy and Rusty Nelson. In that moment, as in many other moments, they're willing to sacrifice for the community. We love you and we appreciate you. And just like Rusty and Nancy welcoming me into this movement, today we continue to support young people as leaders of our Young Activist Leaders program, which you'll hear more about today. I invite you to join us in our urgent organizing to end mass incarceration and racial disparities in our Spokane County criminal justice system. And I invite you to join in the inspirational Poor People's Campaign, a national call for moral revival. Through the National Season of Moral Resistance beginning this month, we will force a serious national examination of the enmeshed evils of systemic racism, systemic poverty, ecological devastation, and the war economy during this key election year. Your support and your involvement make all the difference. And that's not a metaphor, that's 100% real.